Hey YouTube, coming at you just with an open Ultra League team. You know what, I actually kind of got bored of Summer Cup already, so I'm like, oh, let's just go to open where I have more options and more sort of variability of what you're going to see. Although that being said, I started with Bellibolt because it is just, I think, super strong with the Power Ball charge. You saw yesterday how, despite the going up against a Venusaur where the electric is resisted, and I was down shield and behind on energy and behind on health, I took it to 1 HP. Like I think it's just very strong. So weakness is ground. So I was like, okay, what flyers do I have? I obviously just did Talonflame. Didn't want to do Talonflame again. So I'm like, okay, let's go. I like using Drifblim. Don't have a shadow, so the non-shadow is fine. And I'm like, okay, flying, Bellibolt, what is my weaknesses here? And I'm like, okay, I have a Sucker Punch Dark and I'm weak to Dark on Drifblim. I need a fighter. And I was looking at my fighters, and I think Annihilape is probably one of the best, if not the best fighter in the meta. Don't have a shadow, so I just used the non-shadow. Team worked pretty well. I think I went like 7-3, something like that. So you are double weak to Ghost in the back, but again, you have a Sucker Punch Bellibolt for Ghost on the front, and then Counter User with Rage Fist for Ghost, and then Astonish on its own for Ghost. So you can sort of work through it depending on what that Ghost is. And speaking about a Ghost, right off the lead, we have a Giratina. And Giratina is a kind of a weird one. You are hitting super effective with the Sucker Punches, but both of your charge moves are resisted. It was actually brought up in the video comment section yesterday. I said Parabolic Charge should be nerfed. And then people are like, okay, if you nerf Parabolic Charge, this thing's just not usable. Unless it gets like a second coverage move. Because Sucker Punch in itself is good. Parabolic Charge is still a good move. Just don't make it at 100%. Make it like 50% chance or something. But if you give it like an Icy Wind or, yeah, like something for ground coverage, this Pokemon I bet you would still have a decent amount of play. So, unfortunately, in this matchup, I only have electric moves. Still take it to 1 HP. That's fine. Coming in with the Drifblim to get that Astonish through. What is in the back for Alligator? Unfortunately for me, for Alligator is with Shadow Claw. I think they wanted to just kind of keep alignment with the Drifblim. So they instant swapped into Registeel because you would otherwise not instant swap when I have a counter user for your Regi. So I just Rage Fist the first way through because I figured boosting my counters is probably my win con coming up against the for Alligator. It's just kind of like ramp counter up multiple times here. That's the second counter up. Here comes the third. So I would not be surprised if I shield. Yeah, basically the whole thought process is this thing's already 2 times boosted. Let's make it 3 times. You're gonna grab 1 shield back here and then just try to out counter, like take this low enough that you can counter it to Astonish range is essentially the plan. Take it to the yellow. They do get a move off. I am a non-shadow, so I actually live that and get to another move. This will force the second shield because the counters are doing so much. Took it to the red, and now taking it to the red, the Astonishes are going to add up. 1 Hydro would not take me up in that range, so they're going to go for the Icy Wind. Ice Beam. But I get to the move first and take them out. Abomasnow. Another kind of one of those weird ones where Sucker Punch is neutral, but both of your charge moves are resisted. Now, obviously, I have an answer in Fighter, but you should never come in with one of the hardest answers immediately because they probably have an answer in the back. So I do kind of chip it a bit and then come in. You know, I could have probably just stayed in the Bellibolt and boosted my defense and then kind of ran through it. But I decided that maybe just get out anyways because if I get if I get an advantage with Drifblim with the Astonish, then I could potentially Icy Wind, Astonish combo what is left of it. So out comes a Bellibolt of their own, going to get to the close combat. I'm only going to get to 1 move. Might as well make it the nuke. And taking the Bellibolt down to the deep red. And now I'm going to basically, thought I would have just committed to the farm down. I'm not surprised that I actually almost threw there. I don't think I did. I think I was like, delayed a little bit. Oh, because I was worried about the Zap Cannon. Yeah, Zap Cannon does quite a lot of damage. So I'm throwing basically blind, and that blind is into a Toxicroak, which is half ground. So it, oh no, it's not half ground. It's poison fighting. So that is actually neutral. And now kind of recognizing that Drifblim here is going to have to win this for me. Abomasnow is obviously very spammy, and it will lower my attack with Icy Wind. So I just have to double shield, lower their attack a couple times, maybe try and snipe or you know, if I can take this out here, I do. And then I'm like, okay, I'm essentially in Astonish range. I think I was thinking about like trying to make a catch there, but I'm like, I don't even know if I need one, quite honestly. So I just commit to the Astonish down and do get it in the ending there. Bellibolt's mirror match. So I've played this a couple times. I always go for the Parabolic Charge first to boost my defense right away. They usually go for it too. Because I have a 10 attack, I do win CMP, which is huge in the mirror match because then you're doing taking a little less damage on the first one. I've played this multiple ways. I've seen people just go straight Parabolic Charge, and I've seen people just go straight Zap Cannon. So both are resisted, but the Zap Cannon is a nuke. And as you're going to see here, chips quite a good amount. Oh, they actually I was like, why do they have so much more health than me? Because they actually shielded the first one. I don't know why they shielded the first one, but they did. But because I land the Parabolic Charge, I am able to take it to the deep red. To the counter down, they did boost their attack multiple times here, so I will not be able to counter down before they get a move off. That's okay. I have a shield advantage, and now I have energy advantage. I know that drifblim will resist the sand attack, but I was trying to get a close combat because I was like, if I get a close combat, I could just put it in Astonish range. Unfortunately, they do end up CMP tying me, so okay, I'll bank the rest of that energy, take the resisted sand attacks. I can live an Iron Head, I can live a Sky Attack, so going to let this move go. Wouldn't be surprised if I throw somewhat quick. Yeah, really just want to get this out of here. I don't really want to take a second charge move for no reason. And out comes a Golisopod, and Golisopod is spammy. Luckily, it looks like a bug fast move, which means that is resisted. Do still need to try to get this out of here because these Aqua Jets come pretty quick and hit decently hard. And with that, I'm going to snipe here, landing the Shadow Ball, snipe with the Rage Fist. This will take it out. And with that, attack boost and very, very low Bellibolt. Was it Bellibolt? Corviknight 1. There goes that. And I think it was Bellibolt left. But did not have much. Dusknoir. Staying in this matchup, despite being outpaced at the Dynamic Punch. Parabolic Charge gets there one before they get to the Dynamic Punch. And taking super effective from my Sucker Punches. So I was kind of surprised. Like, I was debating, like, do I shield? Like, why are you staying in unless you don't have a good answer for this? And then some give up switch at the same time, which is okay. I was like, what do I do here? Because the Parabolic Charges will chip, but Sucker Punch is resisted. Luckily, they make that decision for me and throw immediately, allowing me to get into this matchup here. Now, switch timers are very distinct because of all those throws. I will respect the play rough. It would be pretty weird to just bait the Bulldoze there against a Flyer. So able to get their Shadow Ball here. They do let go. They're going to take a shield advantage with their own Bellibolt. So going to lower their attack. They're doing super effective. I remember this because I'm like, okay. Yeah, of course they're doing super effective. It's they've got a dark fast move, but they're actually running Thunder Shock. And I was like, oh, interesting. I don't know what I was doing with my Bellibolt. Maybe trying to like catch or something, but just poorly. So they get a move off. Here comes another one. Gonna shield up this one, and if I remember, it was the Zap Cannon. Yeah, so kind of lucky there. Do shield up a Zap Cannon correctly, which is a big shield because it is a nuke. And now I'm just gonna try and Rage Fist my way through this, and throwing right as soon as I get to the move, like a noob. They catch on the Dusknoir, but you know I'm 2 times boosted now, so this is still doing an insane amount of damage, and they just reset their defense buff. Guzzlord. I wish I could say this was the only Guzzlord lead I saw. It was not. So I played, this Guzzlord's tough. Guzzlord's really tough. I knew Dark was going to be tough to start with, right? Because Sucker Punch is resisted, and then hitting super effective against Ghost. What I did not consider is that the charge move on these darks would be resisted on Bellibolt, because this is Dragon, so Dragon resists Electric. So I just thought, and I think correctly in this matchup, just play out the lead. They do come in with Jellicent as soon as I showed my fighter, and now we got a Ghost on Ghost action here, which means, you know, it's tough for me already because I'm behind on energy. Going for the bait. Do get the shield, which is nice. The problem is you're just so outpaced in this matchup because they're running Hex and I'm running Astonish, so they're just outpacing you. And they get to the move. I'm not going to get to another move before they, I think, Hex me down, so I'm just going to throw this Icy Wind. Any chip is fine. I guess that Icy Wind allowed me to live a couple more. But unfortunately, they have another Ghost in the back, so they are also running double Ghost in the back. So a Dark double Ghost is a tough team comp to overcome for this team. And yeah, so a Ghost that resists fighting, obviously, and spams pretty quickly is not going to lose here. So so they shield, will take me out here and break up my what was a 4-0 start on the set to lose that one. Bellibolt into Primeape. I assume I instant swap. Yeah, I have two Ghosts in the back that resist counter, so it makes sense to instant swap. Get hit with a Galarian Moltres, which is a Dark, which again will cause me problems, but it is half flying, so I'm able to chip with Icy Wind. Sucker Punches are super effective. This fly is going to hurt. I probably live a fly because of the lowering of the attack with Icy Wind. And I'm a non-shadow. So there we go. Live, Icy Wind. Very close to flipping switch. In fact, they have to throw or else we would have taken each other out at the same time. So I burn their energy, but unfortunate for me, like, so what? You now still have the Primeape on the front. Although Primeape is still taking neutral from all the electric, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I could just like stay in and throw one Parabol charge, either chip a ton or force that shield and then try and run with Annihilape. And they actually did straight close combat, which is not a bad strategy. Chipped me significantly, but that puts their defense super low, and they're staying in the matchup, and they just banked a ton of energy. So I know the Primeape is absolutely loaded, but I am loaded, and I have a shield advantage. Although, unfortunately for me, these Astonishes are super effective, so it's doing a lot of damage. But here comes what is going to be the second shield. And now, yeah. So I have two plays here. I remember losing this one. I don't know if I made the right play. You have two plays. Play number one, you shield that Icy Wind, get to the Ghost move, and hope it's enough to take out from this range, or at least put it low enough that you can like come in and Sucker Punch down and maybe come out with energy. I thought that like, oh, they're just going to take me out. Sucker Punch will be super effective here. I just need energy on the Primeape. So I'm just going to let this on the Primeape. So I'm just going to let this go and come in and Sucker Punch super effective, shielding, double shielding here, and then come up with like a Zap Cannon and just nuke. Two issues with that. One, I'm already too low and these Astonishes are adding up. 3 issues. That's the first one. I'm too low and the Astonishes are adding up. 2, the switch timers, as you're seeing here, is very, very desynced. So they are able to get out and get into their Pokemon that is loaded here. And I think the third issue, I guess it was just those 2 issues, that I'm too low and the switch timer is desynced, that I can't do it. And another Guzzlord. So this time I did instant swap and met with a Feraligatr. Feraligatr does have super effective claws, but you know, this is a one I could potentially flip in like the multiple shield scenario if I want to like double shield. The problem is double shield to do what? Then get into your second Ghost into a Dark Pokemon. So I think my logic, what's going to happen here is like, okay, commit the shield. If they come in with Guzzlord, I can start getting through it. If they don't, I can instant swap and save this Pokemon for the Guzzlord. And they're making a decision. I probably should have banked this energy, but just chipping here, maybe thinking maybe they'll shield. They do not. The Venusaur stays in and gets some energy, but that does allow me to get to Icy Wind. Icy Wind is super effective. Will lower the attack. That'll definitely live a dark move here and potentially get to a second Icy Wind. So Astonish is resisted. Here comes a Brutal Swing. I'll live that. So if I can get to a second move here, this would be very valuable. And they let it go, and they're gonna, I think, make the same mistake that I made in the previous one, trying to two shield with one Pokemon when you can potentially be fast moved down. And here we go. They're already in the yellow. I don't know why they're saving two shield for a Pokemon in the yellow. I mean, I think that's what I did too. But you know, now they're mid yellow here. They do have a shield advantage, so I can't throw my charge move. But Bellibolt's fully loaded here. So I can come Sucker Punch. I am burning my Switch Clock in case I need to try and catch, which, here comes the first Frenzy. I'm not going to take this out in 6 here before they get to the next one. 4, 5, so I got to catch here. That's exactly what happens, knowing that they're going to have to throw, or else I'm going to kind of take them out. Catch the Frenzy and able to Sucker Punch the rest down there. Primeape, another, again, weird one. So instant swap into the Ghost. This time met with Jellicent. And this was too fast. So I know this is a Surf, and I'll know I'll live a Surf. So I let it go. And do as I say, not as I do. Never bait. Grab that shield or take them out. I'm baiting. And we all know where this is going. They end up letting that freaking move go. So, okay. Have to commit the shield and to the Astonish down here. So I am loaded with energy. I one switch. I am loaded with energy. So depending on what comes in, I'm still going to chip it substantially. And it's a Typhlosion. So definitely going for the Shadow Ball. Grab that shield or do some good damage. They do shield. That Incineroar is going to register and take me out. So I am just going with the one Astonish Icy Wind to chip, knowing that I'm going to be taken out. Bellibolt's a sacrifice, essentially, knowing that I need to align the Annihilape on Primeape. It's not a sacrifice. It's the alignment there. So they're going to get to a second move. I can probably live a Rage Fist, but it's going to be close. And it was actually a lot closer than I thought. Had I known that, I think I maybe would have committed the shield. But kind of thankfully, they also don't commit the shield. Allowing me to get a couple Sucker Punches to get some energy here. And I remember this because it's a Thunder Punch bait. But the thing is, like, is it a bait? Because if that landed with a shadow damage and the attack heavy Typhlosion, I think that I'm in Incinerate range anyways. But now they get to the move. So baiting the Icy Wind there, costing me that matchup. Never bait. Scizor, good lead, I guess. Yeah. Bullet Punches resisted on the electric. They do make a catch on Dragalge. So nice catch, but I know Dragalge has poison, which means Ghost here will do well. Counter user, not so much on the poison. So coming in here, trying to get to my Icy Wind, which would be super effective. I knew it was close to an Outrage, so I shield because I don't want to take an Outrage there. Overfarm a little bit, but I don't want them to just get an Aqua Tail chip for no reason, so I'm just going to take this out. You know, Scizor could come back in. Has probably a Night Slash loaded. But deciding that a Feraligatr would be better with the Shadow Claw, maybe get energy there. Not going to make that mistake again, baiting. So just going straight for the Shadow Ball, and it lands. And I remember this. I'm like, what are you doing? They're definitely at like almost at two Hydro Cannons, but not throwing anything and just going down. They take me out. And at this point, yeah, I think I just come Annihilate and boost through this. You can live one move. Rage Fist. I know they have 2 shields. It doesn't matter. You're just Rage Fisting, so you boost your attack here. And then you can just commit to the counter down. So, yeah, misplays all over the place in these shield scenarios on both my opponent's end and my end here. So just commit that shield and counter down there for the win. So yeah, I think I had more fun in Open Ultra League. I've kind of mentioned this before. I know not a lot of people play Ultra League, but the Ultra League meta seems pretty healthy right now. It's been healthy for many, many seasons. Just that not a lot of people play it. So, you know, when Ultra League and a limited Ultra League is on, it's not a bad time to play Ultra League. But I understand that people are also going to take breaks. And between people taking breaks this week, 2 Ultra League teams, 2 Ultra League leagues, Ultra League leagues, yeah, I guess that's right. And going away from Friday to Sunday, that's why you're getting 1 video a day here. So with that said, I know people were asking about submissions this week. Unless it comes in basically yesterday, I'll probably be done videos for the week. Maybe, actually that's not true, because I'll have to probably shoot. I get back Sunday. I'm going to have to shoot some videos for Monday. So I'll get back Sunday night and shoot a video for Monday. So if you want to submit, if you do want to submit something for me to showcase on Monday, yeah, link in the description. I'll probably give priority to the Summer Cup ones for Monday, because Ultra League will be back in a couple weeks, although it's with next week, but it's with a great league, so I don't know if it will get priority. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, link in the description if you want to submit any battles, and we'll see if I can get to them. Anyways, that is it. I can't believe it's the 7th today. Oh my goodness, the summer's gone already. August 7th. How's your summer going? I can't say it's not like it's wasted, but just this is just a total Dan aside as we wrap up the video here. In Canada, and especially when you have kids, you truly only have 2 months of summer, July and August, because they're in school through June, and June's nice weather in Canada. You get like mid-20s and sun, but really it's June, July, August for nice weather. June, the kids are still in school, so you only have July and August for your summer. And obviously you're still working in the summer, because welcome to adulthood. But I did take a couple weeks off. I got another week coming off, so you're going to see me probably shoot in my parents' basement, because we're going to go visit them. But man, so I was just thinking, like, holy crap, a month and a bit is already gone. There's essentially 3.5 weeks here until school starts and the weather goes back to bad. September's always hit or miss here. You can get like 30 and sunny, or you can get like 12 and like cold. It like really, really depends here. Because we can sometimes here get snow in October. So it feels like the summer, when I say 3.5 weeks, it feels like the summer is basically over. But I did have a pretty good summer so far. Like I went to Blues Fest and saw, Green Day and Def Leppard and all those rock bands. Took a couple weeks off. A lot of just like playing the Pokemon Red and just relaxing. Golfed a couple times. So overall, it's been a decent summer. Just when you get to my birthday was last Friday, and I turned 38, and it's just one of those, like, seems like the years go by quicker and quicker every time, and then it's just like, oh, it's almost winter again here. Didn't we just get out of that? Anyways, that's me contemplating life. How are you guys doing? Time for a midlife crisis. Drop your best midlife crisis in the comments below. Looking for a midlife crisis. Open to suggestions. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.